And it's time for our next installment in the real Barack Obama series, Barack Obama and the Million Man March. Now, the Illinois senator attended the event in 1995 and had some very interesting views about the march.
We are gathered here today not to bash somebody else. We're not gathered here to say all of the evils of this nation, but we are gathered here to collect ourselves for a responsibility that God is placing on our shoulders to move this nation toward a more perfect union.
October 16th, 1995, hundreds of thousands of Americans rally in Washington, D.C. for a, quote, holy day of atonement and reconciliation. This was the Million Man March organized by the controversial Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. Among the spectators that day, Senator Barack Obama. We have learned about Obama's attendance from an interview he conducted with the Chicago Reader in 1995 titled, What Makes Obama Run? Fox News has learned from the interviewer, Hank Zuder, that Obama went to the march to, quote, better understand the movement and wanted to be an observer rather than a participant. Armstrong Williams, a syndicated radio talk show host, also attended the Million Man March to report on it as a conservative commentator.
Senator Barack Obama is a Democrat. I mean, listen, people like many members of the Congressional Black Caucus, you had senators, you had very prominent people from Congress, the state legislature, from all walks of government hierarchy attend the Million Man March, and it was controversial for them. There were a lot of their constituents who protested, and they're attending.
Among the Million Man March's participants was Reverend Jeremiah Wright. However, it is not known whether Barack Obama attended the march with his controversial pastor of 20 years. But many prominent leaders and politicians wanted absolutely nothing to do with the event. On the morning of the Million Man March, President Bill Clinton delivered a speech in Texas. Former Clinton advisor Dick Morris says it was no accident that President Clinton was not in D.C. that morning. Barack Obama went to the Million Man March.
Went to the Million Man March?
Yeah, the Chicago Reader.
Man, I spent the whole days and weeks with Bill Clinton figuring out how he could not go to the march. And instead he went to Austin to give a pro-civil rights, pro-father agenda speech.
Obama's thoughts on the rally are revealed in the Chicago Reader article. Obama said, quote, what I saw was a powerful demonstration of an impulse and need for African-American men to come together to recognize each other and affirm our rightful place in the society. But what was lacking among march organizers was a positive agenda, a coherent agenda for change. Without this agenda, a lot of this energy is going to dissipate. Exhortations are not enough, nor are the notions that we can create a black economy within America that is sealed from the rest of the economy and seriously tackle the major issues confronting us. But Obama's reaction to the march gets even more shocking. He is quoted as saying, quote, cursing out white folks is not going to get the job done. Anti-Semitic and anti-Asian statements are not going to lift us up. We've got some hard nuts and bolts organizing and planning to do. We've got communities to build.
He walked away with an attitude of how we come together as a nation, as black and white and Jewish brethren. He talked about how you show up at these events and how a lot of these black leaders have to talk more than just about anti-Semitism and racism. What he was saying, we got to stop this blame, this racism, this anti-Semitism, and we've got to look at our own communities and build not as black people. He talked about bringing all coalitions together.
During the speech, Louis Farrakhan didn't stray from his strong opinions. Some of his statements include, quote, white supremacy has to die in order for humanity to live. White supremacy caused you all. Some white folks try to rewrite history and write us out. White supremacy has poisoned the bloodstream of religion, education, politics, jurisprudence, economics, social ethics, and morality, unquote. We know where Farrakhan stands with the presidential election. He has publicly announced his support for Senator Barack Obama, although Obama has publicly rejected Farrakhan's endorsement. Fox News has tried to get a statement from Barack Obama's campaign seeking further information about the Illinois senator attending the Million Man March in 1995. They have not responded. It is curious how the Illinois senator will not speak about his attendance at the march. This raises the question, just how much do we really know about Senator Barack Obama?
And coming up, Dr. Laura Schlesinger is back answering your questions and offering some advice.